We're on the advent of a tremendous journey.
Finally tonight, dozens of teenage bicyclists are pedaling their way across the country.
A Massachusetts boy inspires a group of cyclists to do the trip of a lifetime.
We're riding 3,800 miles in 66 days.
Riding from coast to coast to raise money to help kids who can't ride their own bikes.
They'll bike all the way to Massachusetts to raise money for the Jet Foundation.
We're exploring America, and we're also raising awareness for Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
My inspiration for riding across the country is for my brother Jet, and to help the Jet Foundation raise money to cure or help Duchenne muscular dystrophy.
The 10th Gear Christian cyclists are also raising money to find a treatment for DMD because a young friend, Jet McSherry, is suffering from the disease.
The beginnings of the Jet Foundation started in 2001 when my son Jet was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. I was devastated to find out that it was lethal, 100% fatal. And it all started very simply. He went to the doctors. He had his annual checkup when he was 5 years old. Had some difficulty getting up off the ground. And the physician suggested I go to Boston to have him evaluated just a little bit more. When I got to Boston, I saw another physician who thought he was perfectly fine, but decided to do some blood tests anyways. He called me the next day to tell me his levels, CPK levels, were off the charts. Something that should be about 75 or 22,000. And I said that couldn't happen, that can't be so, because even in the worst heart attack situation, you would never have a CPK level of 22,000. Well, it turns out that you can if every muscle in your body is dying, and has been since the day that you were born.
Well, I think that it's pretty cool that I get to have the chance to bike across the country, because if you think about it, Jet can't do that, so, and I really don't know anybody that is any kid that can say that they've ridden their bike across America, so I find that pretty neat.
The public awareness of it is, I think, showing gains of recent, and it actually is remarkably common. 1 in 3,500 live-born males is not a rare disorder. I would say in terms of people's awareness of it, I think people get the idea of what maybe a kid on the telethon looks like who's in a wheelchair, but to really know what it is to live and to love someone who has Duchenne muscular dystrophy, I would say in general the public has no idea.
Watching every day your child lose his ability and asking you questions along the way about why he can't throw the ball like he used to, why last year he could get out of the swimming pool and this year he can't. Mom, it's okay if you put my bivalve night casts on at night, because I don't want to end up with my feet, you know, the way that you've shown me that they could go. The Jet Ride was able to provide a voice for me to enter into Mass General Hospital and offer them something that nobody else had, and that was the creation of a multidisciplinary clinic, along with a wonderful physician and a researcher. The JET program for pediatric neuromuscular disorders at Mass General Hospital in Boston.
To me that you're a pretty good call.
Jet Ride was a success for those 21 youths across the country advocating for Duchenne muscular dystrophy. So in Portland, Oregon, when they left the hotel that day, we have newsreel of them talking about Duchenne. People in Portland, Oregon may have not known what Duchenne was or why these kids were riding across the country.
It's the folks in all of those little towns and communities across the country that saw these jet riders coming through and read about it in a newspaper or saw it on a local cable station and said, aha, wait a minute, I need to do something. And as a response to that, some of them came out with pennies and dollars and sent envelopes of cash back just to help because they had seen it in a paper, they had heard it on a local radio or TV station, and they'd actually seen these kids come through on bikes, and they were just amazed.
I don't know if it got us that much closer to the goal because it just was so busy pedaling every day for the kids, and we're going through communities that had 600 people in the community, didn't know what DMD was. But, you know, once they heard about it and they thought about it, you know, people reached in and gave some, you know, what little they could give to the foundation. But we need more research dollars to solve this thing.